Hello everyone, I'm Subhojit Panda from Odishatv.in presenting you today's news from Odisha. First headlines. Chief Minister Naveen Patnaik meets Union Minister for Women and Child Development Maneka Gandhi. Discusses efforts to fight malnutrition in state. President Pranab Mukherjee addresses event in New Delhi to commemorate 200th year celebration of Paiko Rebellion. 12-hour dawn-to-dusk bandh observed in Nilagiri. Activists press for 14-point charter of demands. Teleshopping fraud reported from capital city. Man receives small idols of deities instead of mobile phone. And being ostracized, woman buries husband's body with help of JCB. Now the details. Union Minister for Women and Child Development Maneka Gandhi called upon Odisha Chief Minister Naveen Patnaik at the Odisha Bhavan in New Delhi to talk on malnutrition scenario in the state. After the meeting, Patnaik told media that malnutrition among preschool children, lactating and pregnant women in the state were discussed in the meeting. The Minister for Women and Child Development said the centre is considering steps on how it can help the state and fund institutions to help malnourished women and children.
We talked about nutrition. Children's nutrition was the major part of the discussion. We're looking into how we can help the Odisha government to fund institutions that will help women and children.
This has been made possible through providing adequate nutritional supplementation, improved immunization, institutional deliveries, and other healthcare services. I urged upon her to enhance the existing rate of supplementary nutrition for preschool children, pregnant and lactating mothers, and severely malnutrition children. Also to enhance the honorarium of Anganwadi workers and helpers commensurate to their efforts.
Paiko Rebellion is the first war of independence in India. President Pranab Mukherjee said this at an event held in New Delhi on Thursday to commemorate 200th year celebration of Paiko Rebellion of Khordha. Remembering Baksi Jagabandhu and many Paiko martyrs, Mukherjee said much earlier than Sepoy Mutiny, Paiko Rebellion of Odisha was a movement against the British rule. He advised to document the Paiko Rebellion to keep the tale of valour alive. Chief Minister Naveen Patnaik during the event said, the Odisha cabinet has demanded central government to declare Paiko Rebellion of Khordha as a first war of independence in the country and hoped the government will recognise the historic event and acknowledge its rightful place in the history of India.
Indeed, I would not call it a rebellion by the Paikas, but frankly speaking, it is one of the earliest freedom movements of this country which began in Odisha.
Vehicular traffic was disrupted and shops shut due to a dawn-to-dusk Nilagiri bandh called by the Nilagiri Raki Mancha over fulfillment of a 14-point charter of demands on Thursday. Members of the Mancha blocked roads by burning tires near the bypass chokka and thereby vehicular movement was affected. Among others, the Mancha demanded transfer of local tehsildar and opening of closed mines. On the other hand, former legislator Chittaranjan Sadangi and supporters sat on dharna today for 3 days in front of the Nilagiri sub-collector's office for fulfillment of the demands. A shop manager was critically injured in a firing incident near Durga Mandap in Bomikhal area of Bhubaneswar on Thursday. According to sources, the shop manager was fired at by a miscreant who fled the spot leaving the gun behind. Police sources informed that the miscreant has been identified to be a person from the same locality and reportedly fired at the manager over past enmity. The injured manager has been shifted to the hospital. Rather than going to a correctional facility, Bulu Biswal of Bhuttadihi village under Ittamatti police limits of Nayagarh district has spent 14 years in jail. During a visit to the Ranpur sub-jail, the Juvenile Justice Board has found such a brazen blunder and is planning to move the Odisha High Court. While Bulu's age was 17 years and 4 months, police in connection with a murder case cited his age as 22 years. The case dates back to 2003 when one Madan Behera was murdered and Nayagarh police arrested 6 persons on 10th August 2003. Bullo was shown as a major and forwarded to court where he was convicted and since then been lodged in jail. However, based on the school certificate, the Nayagarh Juvenile Justice Board has been preparing to move the High Court for justice.
पुलिस माने नहीं गले बुल्लू को पिल्ला पुओ घरे से जरे सोईथिले पिल्ला को उठे की नहीं गले पिल्ला पुओ दे
जदि सत्य होता है तेरे विषय नियमित तदंत करिया कथा कहना ए भलिया हेलारे जणे जदि जुवेनाइल कोर्ट को न जाई साधारण कोर्ट को गला एवं तो जेल हे गला जुवेनाइल कोर्ट जाइथिले बहुत कोहल मनोभाव न्याय था बयस दृष्टि
पुलिस जदि जानी जानी त्रुटि करि थाए बा अति केयरलेसली त्रुटि करि थाए बा तांको ठीक भाव में जन्म तारीख को इन्वेस्टिगेशन इनक्वारी न करी गोटे सुपरफिशियली डेट ऑफ बर्थ दे था पारे जो कि जड़े माइनर को जड़े नाबालक को आजीवन कारादंड भोगवा को पड़ा ताहले से पुलिस ऑफिसर विरुद्ध डिपार्टमेंटल एक्शन हवा उचित.
Unable to bear the expenses demanded by villagers to help in performing last rites, a woman and her 8-year-old son on Thursday had to wait for hours together before cremating the body of her husband in Gonoa under Koida block. After death of one Phagu Pethe, his wife Asha and son requested the fellow villagers to help them in cremation. However, the local residents rejected the plea for the reason that the bereaved family was ostracized in the village. So, they asked the mother-son duo to pay rupees 10,000 fine if they wanted their help in performing last rites. As the woman expressed her inability to pay the fine, the villagers did not lend a hand. Later, with the help of a social activist, the woman took her husband's body in a vehicle to a nearby forest and buried after a JCB machine helped them bury. A tele-shopping fraud has been reported from the capital city. It was nothing less than a shock for Bhubaneswar resident Vikrant Kumar, who received small idols of deities instead of a phone he had ordered through tele-shopping. According to reports, some days back, Vikrant had received a call from an unknown number and was offered a heavy discount on a Samsung smartphone following the enforcement of GST. The fraudsters offered him the smartphone at a price of rupees 3,000, which was rupees 6,000 less than the actual price. Charmed by the offer, Vikrant ordered it immediately but was shocked to find idols of deities inside the parcel box shipped by one Shubhlabh.
जो हमारे देश में लागू है, हम लोग का स्टॉक खाली करने के लिए एक लिमिटेड टाइम पीरियड दिया गया है। और लिमिटेड टाइम पीरियड में हम लोग को खाली करना है स्टॉक। हम लोग डिस्काउंट इसीलिए दे रहे हैं, तो हम लोग ठीक है डिस्काउंट मिल रहा है हम लोग.
After OTV reported the feat of an IIT Bhubaneswar PhD scholar who was able to trace a thief who had stolen his mobile, Police Commissioner YB Khurania invited him to his office and congratulated him. The PhD scholar Ashutosh Acharya of IIT Bhubaneswar, after meeting Khurania, said the commissioner has already called Inspector in charge of Shahid Nagar police station to nab the thief within 2 days. Meanwhile, Ashutosh has reported the matter to the Khandagiri police and a complaint has been registered at the Khandagiri police station in this regard. As many as 15 students of a private school in Bodia under Remuna Tehsil felt asphyxiated after inhaling unknown gas during a laboratory experiment. Sources said around 38 students of class 8 in Bodia Saraswati Sisu Vidya Mandir narrowly escaped from being burnt after a chemical experiment went wrong, leading to an explosion. All the affected students have been rushed to Baleso Hospital, where 6 of them are reported to be under critical condition. Before wrapping up the news headlines once again, Chief Minister Naveen Patnaik meets Union Minister for Women and Child Development Maneka Gandhi, discusses efforts to fight malnutrition in state. President Pranab Mukherjee addresses event in New Delhi to commemorate 200th year celebration of Paiko Rebellion. 12-hour dawn-to-dusk bandh observed in Nilagiri. Activists press for 14-point charter of demands. Tele-shopping fraud reported from capital city. Man receives small idols of deities instead of mobile phone. And being ostracized, woman buries husband's body with help of JCB. That's all for today. Thanks for watching.